Welcome to the SCLD podcast, where we talk about all the things you can do and find at the library.
Hello, I'm Erin Dodge, the Communications Specialist here at SCLD, and with me today is Public Services Manager Stacy Goddard, who has been on podcasts before.
Once or twice. Thanks
Welcome
for
back.
having me again, Erin. You keep letting me come back despite...
We always have fun. We always have fun. Today we're talking about a special thing that we haven't done before. We're doing for the first time.
It's true.
It's National Small Business Month.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the local businesses that are involved, how listeners and viewers can get involved, and the 4 communities around Spokane County where this is happening.
That sounds
So
great.
thank you for being here to talk about this.
You're welcome.
I'm excited about this. Let's go for it.
Sure.
What is National Small Business Month?
So I'm really glad you asked. National Small Business Month is something maybe people haven't heard as much about. They might be more familiar with National Small Business Week.
Sure.
And when we were planning how to support our small businesses in the area for the spring, we were looking at both, and we thought, well, why would we only do a week? No shade to the Small Business Administration, who supports National Small Business Week.
Right.
But we thought, let's go with the month. And that is something that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, there's a National Chamber of Commerce arm, developed years ago in support of small businesses. And it's really, from their website, talks about how it's a month-long celebration of local businesses and the courage that you have to own and operate and keep going, especially during the pandemic, post-pandemic.
It's so sad to hear about some of your favorite local businesses that went out of business during the pandemic, or some that are still kind of struggling, trying to hold on and gain back momentum to where they were before the pandemic. So this is great to highlight them and help people refamiliarize themselves with their local businesses.
Exactly. And they work hard, they support local community efforts. And for a couple of the communities that we're spotlighting had devastating years last year because of the wildfires in Medical Lake and Deer Park. So spoiler alert, that's 2.
Okay, so let's talk about all 4.
Sure.
So let's talk about those 2 first.
Sure. Yes. So we are spotlighting the communities, the small businesses in Medical Lake, Deer Park, also Cheney, and then Millwood, which is right next to our
Argonne adjacent.
Correct. And they are all lovely towns in their own way. And if you've never had a chance to go to the West Plains and stroll down First Street in Cheney, or go down the main street in Medical Lake, or up to Deer Park, it's just so delightful to see the different coffee shops and the small businesses that are there supporting their respective communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And so how can people get involved and share their appreciation of these businesses?
Sure. So we have we're going to have an activity that will actually kick off in April, starting April 15th, where we really want to show local businesses the love and support of the community. And so if people want to participate, they can go into one of those 4 community libraries that we talked about, and we'll have a brief form where folks can share with us on the form what their favorite local small business is and why.
Right.
I happen to live pretty close to Millwood, so if I was going to fill it out, I might put the Rocket Bakery because I'm addicted to their pink sugar cookies. And that could be, that's my entry. I put my name down. I wouldn't, because I can't participate.
Sure.
We're going to have some prizes that we'll give away from.
I guess you could probably still participate and just put library employee,
not
included in the prizes.
That's true.
You said prizes.
I did say prizes. Let's chat about that. It could be, someone really loves the True Value hardware store in Medical Lake because of the excellent customer service and the expertise. So it could be anything. And then when you submit that and, share your name and some contact information with us that we'll only use to let you know if you win a prize, we'll put all of those submissions into a drawing, and then we'll draw a couple of winners at each location. And those winners will get a $50 gift certificate to their favorite small business in the community. And we're also planning to share the information that we gather, the feedback that we get. We'll take people's names off of it, but just let the businesses know. Like we'll send them to the hardware store and send them to the Owl Pharmacy or whatever, and say these are some comments we got from community members about how much they love your business.
Wonderful.
Because, like we talked about, it's hard to run a small business, and there's a lot of things to keep track of, a lot of worries in a post-pandemic world. So this is one way we can kind of share that love and give back. There is, if someone really is passionate about a business and they are comfortable sharing, why they like that business, we'll have a spot where they can leave their name on the form. We can leave their name attached, so that the business knows, oh, that's one of my best customers, and that's so great that they love us. Or gosh, I didn't know I was making that big of an impact on this person. And there'll be an opportunity if someone is willing. We would love to film some testimonials that we can also show at the business. Yes, so
and we have that capability. We have all this great video equipment and a studio, and actually probably go out to those communities and what a great opportunity.
Yeah, so I said the starting date, so I should probably say that.
Oh yeah, let's talk about dates. So National Small Business Month is technically the month of May,
right?
But this share your favorite business kind of prize drawing event, is tell us about that, when that is.
So we'll kick off on April 15th. We want to kind of get a lead into that,
sure,
and then because we can't. We want to have the prize drawings before the end of the month, and with Memorial Day weekend, that just makes it tricky. So we kind of backed everything up a couple of weeks. So we'll accept those submissions through May 22nd, and then we'll be drawing the prizes, and winners will be notified probably by the 24th, I think.
24th, thereabouts.
Or 23rd, I apologize. I should read my own document there. So by May 23rd, we will let folks
It'll be really close to around there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Well, okay, great. And let's talk about, we also have events associated with the month of May and this National Small Business Month.
Yes.
And tell us about this.
Sure. So we reached out to businesses in the local communities and to see if anybody would be interested in partnering with us for some programming. And we have some programming set up with a couple of businesses or entities in Cheney, and then also in Millwood with our Argonne Library. Excuse me, goodness. So for Cheney, we've actually, we're going to have a yoga program. Okay. That's going to be put on by the Wellness Vault, which is a yoga studio and fitness center, health center out there. So someone from the Wellness Vault will be there. That's great. To do the program.
So if you want to get a little like sneak preview of how yoga would go, you can come to the library program, and then if that's for you, you can continue with the Wellness Vault after.
Correct. Yes, and I think they're really going to be focusing on like the relaxation, kind of the meditation, and kind of centering benefits of yoga, which sounds great. Things are so chaotic in general these days that actually sounds really nice.
It does.
I might have to see if I can get out there. And then we're also working with the Southwest Spokane County Historical Society, and we'll be doing a walking tour of a historic downtown Cheney walking tour.
Nice.
And so the guide will talk about businesses, early businesses that are still there and how they've developed. I was a student out at Eastern. I actually worked at the Cheney Library. Many people don't know, but we used to have a storefront out there, kind of right between a bar, and I forget what was on the other side. But it's this, Main Street storefront, and it's just really, great brick buildings. And I'm excited about this tour because I think there'll be a lot of history that people aren't aware of and maybe forgot about. So.
The latest issue of Engage is here. Inside, you'll find programs and resources for all ages and a wide variety of interests. Explore creative topics that spark the imagination. Find programs for health and wellness, financial education, gardening, and more. Hear from best-selling authors. Bring young children to weekly story times. See our STEM programs for kids. Discover digital resources that can help you pick up a new hobby and explore topics for personal and professional growth. Pick up your copy of Engage at any of our libraries or flip through the digital version today on our website at scld.org.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and that is on Saturday, May 18th from 10 to 11, I think.
Okay. And then it looks like the half a yoga, if I'm saying that correctly, hopefully I am, is Monday, May 20th at 6 p.m.
I'm sorry, Shane mentioned that. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And then, but there's also another walking tour.
Yes. So with Millwood, Oregon area, we are working with the Millwood history enthusiasts, and they are going to be doing a historical walking tour
Nice.
of the Millwood area, and that will focus a little bit on some of the buildings, but I think they might also be looking at some of the historic homes. If you've ever driven through Millwood, which is a small town, it's right by the paper mill. There are a couple of houses in Millwood, actually not that far from the paper mill, that are on the historic register because they are significant, architectural contributions to the area. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then I think the plan is they'll come back and they'll have a chance to have coffee and treats maybe, and then kind of talk further about what they've seen and what they think of the architecture and the history. And then we also in Millwood are going to have a program with a business in Millwood called Fitness Fanatics. And they're going to be doing a program for us on how to replace a bicycle tire.
Oh, yeah.
Which that's going to be on May 6th. And, it's so great to think of spring and being able to be outside and on your bike and have to worry about a flat tire and how to repair it. So I'm excited about that to learn.
I'm not sure AAA comes for a
No. No. And it's so great. And if back when I had a bike and I used it, it was just a regular 10 speed. It wasn't one of those trail bikes, fancy bikes. Sure. And I would have no idea what to do if I got a flat on one of those. So.
Yeah, me neither. So this is a really good program, especially if you're either starting biking, like you're getting into it, or maybe you've been doing it for a little while, but you don't have all of that knowledge yet. And you just need that little bit more and make you just that much more confident.
Exactly. And I probably should have mentioned that the Millwood Historical Walking Tour is on Saturday, May 4th.
Okay.
And that's going to go from 2 to 4. So
great.
You
sign up for that one.
Yes,
just sign up.
To sign up.
And that one you'll sign up, and then when you sign up, they'll give you where to meet and how all that good stuff. You also need to sign up for the Cheney one.
Correct.
And this is just they want to get there's a limit. They don't want
we can't have a crowd of 50 people walking down the
Emerald
Front Street. And the same with
which would be great if we did, but then it turns into a parade, and that's a whole different permit system.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh, exactly. And with Millwood, the main Argonne goes right through Millwood, and you wouldn't want to have 50 people trumping out. That doesn't sound very safe. So,
yeah. So anyway, make sure you register for this.
Yes.
Let's talk about if someone has a small business or they're thinking about starting one, they have an idea.
Sure.
What are some ways that the library can help them?
That is a great question, and I love that you asked. So we have a wide range of digital resources that are there to support small business owners, entrepreneurs, people who are thinking, I want to get a side gig going. I hate my job. I want to do something new. We can help with that. And I will say that the digital resources, when you go to our digital resource page, we have a ton.
And there's a lot.
It's a bit overwhelming.
And there is a little sort, though.
Yes.
Where it says category, and
you can sort.
Go to business.
So you can go to business. It'll bring up the 15. There's still quite a few.
There's 60 total or more. And then, so this will bring up the ones that are just focused on business and nonprofit.
No, that's great. And so we've got things like Demographics Now, which will help people figure out where they might want to put a physical location. We can help teach you how to size up a market. Are there people who want to spend money on your product in the certain radius of the site that you're thinking about?
That's smart.
It's very smart. We can do things like that. One of the things that resource does that I really like is it's got traffic light counts. So if you're looking at how to spend your marketing dollars and you want to buy a purchase time on a billboard or those bus bench things, you can say, well, I want to invest, some money in that, but what traffic lights, what intersections have the most traffic, and so eyeballs on that spot. We can show you how to do that.
Wow.
There's a product we have called Data Axle that can help really narrow in on where your potential customers are, to kind of help with marketing and just again, deciding where you're going to do your market. If my example with that is like a specialty wine shop, maybe. And if I'm like planning to do something in the valley, but if I do my research, it turns out really more people that are interested in that spending are up on the north side. That can help me kind of decide
where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say we have a couple of resources, LinkedIn Learning and Udemy, that are online learning products where you can take classes at your own pace. They're taught by industry experts. And they are, aside from things like how to use QuickBooks, how to run the day-to-day business, there are some great video courses on connecting better with customers, how to get customers to come back to you, lots of things on social media marketing, things on supervising and managing people. So not just like I need to know how to set up my personal finance stuff, but like how do I connect with people and how do I get a good workplace going?
Well, that's great too, is if you're a business owner and you have employees and maybe you want to help them enhance their skills as well.
Right.
We haven't talked about this. We have something called a business library card.
That's true.
And then with that business library card, you and your employees can get access to these things to help learn the new skills, especially like customer service skills and communication skills and sales skills and all that good stuff.
All of that stuff. You're right. Yeah. And, some of these resources, when you go in to look at them, it's like, I don't understand how this works.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is where our book librarian service would come in handy. So you can set up request an appointment, be set up to talk with me or one of our business librarians or one of our other librarians, and have some time, probably about 45 minutes, because anything longer than that, people tend to kind of hit a wall. And it's like, but we're always happy to make another appointment.
Oh, yeah, we can do not me, but you.
Right. And you're welcome to also.
I'm welcome to make an appointment. Great.
I like how you turned that around. Very nice. And so we can go through how to use demographics now to do the kind of things that we're talking about, how to get your LinkedIn account set up so that you can get in and do those courses. And one resource that I wanted to mention that I don't think we talk about too much when we're doing business resources, we have a resource called Pronunciator, which is a language learning resource. And so just thinking about Spokane and the number of Ukrainian and Afghani immigrants that we're seeing, perhaps someone out there has an idea for a nonprofit, or they're trying to get maybe a Ukrainian grocery store opened or something. You can learn Ukrainian or Russian, or you can learn, hopefully I'm saying this right, Pashto or Dari if you're working with the Afghani population. So just to kind of open up your business opportunities in that way. Or if you're working with employees who maybe English is not their first language, there are a lot of, this is the language that I speak. I need to learn to speak English. So there are classes in Ukrainian for Ukrainian speakers who are trying to learn
both ways. So if I'm an English speaker, but I want to learn Ukrainian language, I could do that.
Correct.
And then if someone who's not natively an English speaker, they can learn better English. So we could learn better.
Or Spanish or whatever combo.
Yeah. I know. I remember it's been a minute, but Pronunciator has something like 160, 180, something, a very large number of languages.
Over 300.
Oh my goodness, over 300.
Yeah.
So it's expanded. Yes, look. That's great.
That one doesn't get a lot of notice with our business resources, but there's a lot of business applications there as far as working with clients or, like I said, employees.
Absolutely. So. And then at the Book a Librarian, we're going to put a link for all these things, I believe, down below. And especially we're going to have a business page. We have a website page for businesses. We're going to get that digital library page with the categories of all the business digital resources we have. And then I'm going to make a little note to myself, Book a Librarian. We will get that also in the links below in the description for our listeners and our viewers. So,
do you have a green thumb? Are you new to gardening? No matter your skill level, every season is gardening season at the library. We have an extensive collection of gardening books and online resources that can plant the seeds for new ideas and help you cultivate your indoor and outdoor projects. We also have seed libraries. Our Take and Give seed libraries are currently accepting donations of vegetable, herb, and flower seeds. Bring your heirloom seeds into a library to share with other gardeners for spring planting. Learn more today at SCLD.org.
Wonderful librarian. There we go. I misspelled it, but I know what it says.
Yeah, it is. That's great.
Okay, wonderful. And we mentioned all of that, but we also have one other thing.
Sure.
It's on our shelves.
Oh my gosh, we do have books. Books are great. I'm like, this is a trap. I'm going to fall right into it. It's all good. No, that's true. I mean, I lean more on the digital resources because so many people, by the time they have cooked dinner, put the kids to bed, these are things you can access with your bathroom, but, in your jam maze, you can do your research. But we certainly have lots of great books, audiobooks, all sorts of magazines. We've got business-focused magazines.
And we do have online, we have Overdrive and Libby
sure.
for the ebooks and audiobooks. If you just only are able to have like a phone or a tablet with you and you're out and about and doing your things, you can get that going digitally. But we do also have on the shelf.
We do. And, one of the great book series that we have a whole bunch of those, people might be familiar with Nolan Press, which are kind of legal publications. So a question we get a lot that we aren't able to answer or give advice for is like, how should I set up my business? Do I do LLC? Do I do sole proprietorship? So those Nolo Press books are great at explaining what the options are and what the pluses and minuses are for each thing. So that's just one of the things. We've got a lot of great books on managing and supervising people, running a business, all of that stuff. So,
and if you, there's also books about like, if you want, you want to have a business, but you're not sure what it is. There's books about like figuring out what are you passionate about?
Yes.
Where are your passions and where are community needs overlapping and how can you make that happen?
Exactly.
And I feel like that could even be a question that Book a Librarian can help with because we do have Help Now, Job Now, and there are some like career and sort of different things you can do on there that librarians can help them figure out how to use.
Yeah, this reminds me of the Venn diagram we talked about in a podcast in the way back where that sweet spot between what you're good at doing, what you enjoy doing, and what people will pay you to do.
That's right.
And for me, sometimes, like before I found library work, that Venn diagram, like it was
tiny.
There weren't a lot of options, but yeah, getting that, you want to be passionate, like you were saying, that's going to be a better experience for you personally, and your customers will sense that you're passionate, and they'll want to frequent your business.
And I think that that passion does show up. Bringing it full circle.
Sure.
It shows up in those 4 communities and those small businesses. And so you're seeing, if you're going to Cheney and the Mason Jar, you know that the people at the Mason Jar love what they do. They love their community.
Yes.
And all of the places. I mean, you see that local community. You see those people who are really invested. And you get to experience that. You get to support them while they're supporting the community. It's a win-win.
Well, and we've talked about this before with our previous Small Business Saturday program, but it's documented on previous podcasts. I love a box store. Box stores have a place, but just know that when you're shopping at a locally owned business, more of those dollars are staying in the community.
That's true.
Because those business owners are buying from local vendors, probably. They're employing your neighbors or yourself, maybe. They're supporting local events. Just thinking about Millwood, I know which businesses are involved with like West Valley School District, which is the school district there, because I can say, oh, the Rocket is sponsoring this, or, I'm drawing like the Fitness Fanatics is, co-sponsoring Millwood Days or whatever. So lots of, you get that local support because they're embedded in the community.
Absolutely. When you see, all the kids' sports teams supported, it's local businesses.
For sure.
It's not the big boxes. So.
Right. And I think especially, not to bring it down, but just knowing that this is the start of a long rebuilding process for Medical Lake and Deer Park in particular. It's worth a drive up to Deer Park and just see what they have to offer up there and show them a little love too.
Yeah, it's a fun little area. I don't get up there much, but I get up there maybe once a year. And it's always neat to go around and check out the stores and check out the coffee shop and all of the thing. Yeah.
I love that all 4 of our communities have, everyone. I mean, all the communities have great coffee shops. That's kind of my litmus test. It's like, how's your coffee?
How's your coffee?
Exactly.
Do you have chai tea? That's nice.
For sure. So all of those, all the communities that we're working with have just, and I'm not a hardware store person, but I popped into the hardware store at Medical Lake, and it's great because it's local. They can answer the questions. Mm-hmm. It's not like when you go to a, big box store and you're like, the person doesn't really know the answer to your question.
There's a true value hardware up where I live, and they were so helpful. One year, there was no ice melt to be found anywhere.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my gosh, you have some. He said, oh yeah, we just got it in. And then he like carried out the car. He got me the 5-gallon bucket. I needed to store it all. And he's like, oh wait, that needs a lid. I mean, it was just it was a very personal experience. And I could tell that he cared.
right.
That I was in there going, oh my gosh, I need this.
Yeah.
My safety of my family is on the line here.
Yeah.
And he was all about it. So
That's such a great example of
yeah,
a local business right hard at work there. So
yeah, absolutely.
that's great.
Well, this is great. I'm excited for National Small Business Month. The survey, sort of pick your favorite business prize drawing, starts April 15th.
Yep.
So you can get in the library and give all the praise to your favorite local business.
Right on.
And thank you for being here, Stacey.
You're welcome. Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, wonderful. And I hope you take part and check out these programs, check out your local businesses, fill out the little survey, maybe win a prize.
Maybe win a prize.
The prizes are sponsored by
Our Crystal Libraries. Yep.
So there you go. Thank you so much for listening and for watching today, and we will see you next time.